First off, I would like to welcome everybody. Thank you for attending this very special day to join us in celebration of our Senator Allan Memorial School graduates of 2013. Let's give them a round of applause. Our first graduate is Vincent Leonard Kenneth Valentine, who is being escorted by Carrie Nelson. Vince is the son of Ona Kingfisher and Jordan Charles. Vince would like to sister of Prairie and Next, we have Kayla Bird, who's being escorted by Daniel and Amy Ogamau. Kayla is the daughter of Leona Bird. Her advice to the youth of today is never give up. Graduate is Orly Sheena Bird, who is being escorted by Major Bird. Orly is the daughter of Olivia and Esther Bird. Her advice to the youth of today is also don't give up. Never give up on your future because you can do it. Now we have Travis Robert Bird, who is being escorted by Monica Oakmount and Tennille Nada House. Travis is the son of Monica Oakmount and late Leroy Owen Bird. Travis has a career in modeling. His advice to the youth of today is to be patient and never give up. Next up, we have Jeremy Wade is the son of Vernon and Cowhouse. His advice to the youth of today is it's never too late to accomplish your goals, such as graduating from high school. Please help me welcome Aspen Earl Wilkins, who's being escorted by his daughter, Kylie Bird. Abby is the son of his adopted mother, to finish it. Stay away from drugs and alcohol. Instead, focus on a career in whatever you want to do in the future.
That's my future culture!
Next up, we have Karen Allan, who is being escorted by her father, Allan. Karen is the daughter of Allan. Her future plans are to get into a nursing program. Her advice to youth of today is jobs are hard to get without an education, so get your education while you're still young. But trust me, you can get through it. Now we have Carmen Jean Harriet Roberts, who's being escorted by AJ Charles. Carmen's future plans are to work for years in a cycle nursing program in Prince Albert. Please help me welcome Mary Frances Albert Roberts, who is being escorted by
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, if everybody could please rise. We will now have the honor song by the Pasquaski drummers.
To the elders, leaders, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, our graduates, good afternoon. I was actually at a judges conference in Jackfish this past week, but when I got the invitation, I can tell you I wasted no time in to be with you here today. And before I go too much farther, I do want to thank the educators, the parents, of course, families, and the Grad for making this day possible and asking us to come and celebrate with you. Before I go too much farther, I have to, as Paul Harvey used to say, I have to tell you the rest of the story. Once I get my mic working. Although my mother was a very big part of my life, there's actually my grandparents who raised me. And I grew up very much on a trot line in northern Saskatchewan. And it is some of those teachings that I hope to pass on to you today. Now you'll be pleased to know that one of the teachings was, of course, you have to remember that my grandmother didn't speak any English, so we spoke only Cree at home. And although I digress a little bit, there are only 2 Cree-speaking judges in all of Canada. The other one is Judge Moore, so you'll be pleased to know you have 50% of all those judges here with me today. But one of the first things that I learned from I think most particularly my grandmother, don't talk too much. So I won't be taking up too much of your time. But on that note, there were a number of things that, of course, as you know, when you talk to an elder, they will say something. It isn't much. And it doesn't really hit home, it doesn't strike home until quite some time later. And that's what I found to be so very true in my case. Now, there are 3 thoughts that I want to leave with you. The first teaching that my grandparents passed on to me is this. Do the right thing. So whenever faced with a decision, just do the right thing. And I got thinking about this in preparing my speaking notes this morning. I thought, well, I wonder how the Bible fits in with this. So I actually took out the Bible this morning and I looked up the 10 Commandments, the book of Exodus chapter 20. And of course you'll recall some of those teachings are, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not use the name of thy God in vain. Now, that's a tough one, especially for the golfers. But what I found is that you can take the 10 Commandments and you can render them to one simple thing. What the 10 Commandments are trying to teach us is this: do the right thing. And I find that even today, as you can well imagine, as a sitting judge, I sometimes have to make very difficult decisions. When I find myself in that situation, I will quite often put the file aside. I will adjourn it for half an hour, an hour, whatever. And I will go and I will think about it. And I say to myself, what is the right thing to do? So I still apply the teachings today. The other thing that, and this more particularly came from my grandfather. Meaning, of course, never be afraid to leave home to work or for our purposes today to get an education. And I know why he said that to me. My grandfather was born here in 1900. His name was John Bird. And for those of you that are into family trees, of course you all know Muska, one of our elders, my Aunt Mary. Well, Mary's father and my grandfather were brothers. is how I am a member of this band. But he, excuse me. In 1916, he was 16 years of age when he joined the Canadian Army, and he fought in the First World War. And one of the battles that he was involved in was Vimy Ridge. You've probably heard of Vimy Ridge. Well, you'll be pleased to know that one of your band members was on that battlefield. So he passed that teaching on to me. And I know, like in my own life, I first left home at 18. I went home for a while. Of course, you heard in the biography that I have spent the vast majority of my life away from home, it seems, either getting an education or going to school. The third thing that I wanted to pass on to you is, Nagatoki the Kuskyun. The translation being, or the message being, always do the best you can. And I found that it didn't matter what I was doing, I would keep that in the back of my mind. It didn't matter how simple the task or how complicated the task. Just always do the right thing, because, for me, always do the best job you can, rather, because somebody's going to notice. People pay attention. So those are the three messages that I wanted to pass on to you, because some might wonder, well, how did this young man raised on a trout line in northern Saskatchewan end up being a provincial court judge? Well, those are the tools that I have learned are incredibly important. They have daily application, and it is a toolkit that you can carry with you for the rest of your life. Now, for those of you that are continuing on to post-secondary education and beyond, well, you've already done 12 years. You have 4 years left at a minimum. So think of it this way, you're 75% done. You're almost there. You have already found the secret to success. You have set your goal. You have overcome adversity. And you have the ability to dream. There is nothing in this world that can hold you back. So with that, congratulations from the very bottom of my heart. You make us all proud, and the best of luck in the future.